Good evening. I'd like to call the Toledo Public Schools regular board meeting for Tuesday, March 24th, 2026 to order. Our first order of business is we're going to reflect on a moment of silence. So if everyone can take a stand for a moment, please. We're going to request a moment of silence, not just for silence, but for reflection. Please take a deep breath and think about this question. How can I serve my community today with compassion, integrity, and purpose? Whether it's through our roles as educators, leaders, neighbors, or advocates, each of us has the power to make a difference. Let's take a quiet moment to reflect on how we can uplift those around us and lead with intention. Thank you.
Mrs. Kirkman. Mr. Vasquez. Here. Mr. Parker. Here. Mrs. Barlow.
Here.
Ms. Barnes.
Present. All right, we'll turn it over to Dr. Grant. We have the pledge of allegiance. You would like to stand and circle?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have permission vision.
We provide educational opportunities that ensure each student is prepared for their future.
I don't know about you, but I love that stuff. Like, it's so good. All right, at this time, I would request a motion to adopt the board agenda, please.
So,
It's been seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, treasurer, please call the roll.
Mrs. Kirkman.
Yes.
Mr. Vasquez.
Yes.
Mr. Parker. Yes. Mrs. Barway.
Yes.
Ms. Barnes.
Yes. At this time, the board is going to have a walk-in, a resolution recognizing Women's History Month, and I have requested that Mr. Vasquez read.
Thank you, Madam President. I have a resolution recognizing Women's History Month. Whereas March is recognized as Women's History Month, a time to acknowledge the role women have played in shaping our country's laws, economy, and civic institutions. And whereas women have advanced education, science, medicine, labor, the arts, and civic leadership through perseverance, innovation, and service. And whereas Toledo history includes women whose leadership helped shape public education, including Olive Harmony, the first woman to graduate from Toledo High School in 1857, Harriet Whitney, Toledo's first female teacher, and Paul Einstein, the first woman elected to public office in Toledo, serving on the Board of Education. And whereas Toledo Public Schools continue to benefit from the leadership, talent, and contributions of women and girls across the classrooms, workforce, and community, and whereas progress has required persistence and courage in the face of barriers that limit participation and opportunity, and whereas discrimination and exclusion undermine the mission of public education and the well-being of students and staff, and whereas schools have responsibility to teach history truthfully, and to prepare students for informed participation in civic life. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Education of the Toledo City School District that Section 1, the board formally recognizes Women's History Month and acknowledges the lasting contributions of women to the nation and to the Toledo community. Section 2, the board affirms its commitment to learning and working environments grounded in dignity, respect, and non-discrimination. Section 3, this resolution shall be enforced in effect from and immediately after its adoption. It is bound and determined that all formal actions of this board relating to this resolution were taken in compliance with all legal requirements, including section 121.22 of the Ohio Revised Code.
Thank you, Mr. Vasquez. Do you have a motion for that, please? So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Discussion. Who'd like to go first?
I feel like I need to go after the honorees just so I can say, hey, congratulations and so forth. I do want to thank the Bridge Committee for their work. And just really excited to see the smiles on their faces as they get their flowers and smart. So it's
Thank you. I would just like to say how important it is that we recognize all of you tonight. As you can see from people who serve in the sport, that women have always made a great contribution. And to our honorees, I know you and I know the contributions that you've made. I just want to say thank you to all of you. Women have struggled to be recognized for the work that they bring to everything, not just the workplace, but everything. And I've always been an advocate for that. Also, Madam President, I'd be remiss in not recognizing my own wife and contributions that she has made professionally in her profession. So I'm fully aware of the contributions that women make to every aspect of our lives. Thank you.
yeah, it's on point. I am always so just inspired and moved every year as we celebrate different groups, individuals that are just amazing in our district, in our community, and it is just to hear the nominations that we receive and to learn about each of the, I would say, young women that we will be honoring today. It just keeps me motivated and inspired to always make sure I'm showing up in my best self, because I know other young women are looking at me as well as I'm looking at the young women we're going to be honoring today, because they are truly inspirational and just a tie into. I wanted to name the theme for Women's History Month is leading the change, women shaping a sustainable future. And although it's for industries of environment and things of that nature, education is what's going to create that sustainable future. And I'm so glad that we get to, as a board, honor a small portion of the great women throughout our district, just by giving it flowers, because we see you here, we see you now, and we cheer for you beyond. So I want you to know this is not just for today, it's forever that we champion you and thank you for what you do for our district, for our community, and for your families.
Thank you, Madam President. I want to say congratulations in advance to all of our honorees tonight, realizing that Women's Month is so important because you all are the shine to who we are. And in every aspect of whatever you work, operate, serve, whatever, it is such an amazing time to be able to recognize women, especially as a mom, that tell you what to do, march. And so as you're marching to your greatness, we salute, celebrate you. And since this will be recorded, since Mr. Vasquez did it first, I can celebrate my wife. Thank you so much for being a part of the greatest of women. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Bishop. Well, I certainly to commend our honorees tonight. and thank you, Ms. Barnes, for continuing to push every year, creating an opportunity so we can share and showcase some of the women that are leading in our district, whether you are dating, right, or taller. It doesn't matter. The point is that we have females that are large in charge, and we appreciate them and honor them. Thank you. With that, can we call for vote, please?
Mrs. Griffin,
Yes.
Mr. Vasquez,
Yes.
Mr. Parker,
Yes.
Mrs. Barwick,
Yes.
Ms. Barnes.
Yes. Okay, and then at this time, I'm turning it over to Mrs. Blazer for presentations.
Good evening, and thank you for this opportunity to recognize our retirees this month. Rebecca Allmiller, Media Specialist at Star High School, 39 years and 6 months of service. Andrea H. Bennett, Instructional Coach at McKinley, 34 years of service. Tina M. Chambers, Teacher Consultant, 31 years of service. Sharon M. Champion, OBI at Transportation, 28 years, 5 months of service. Cynthia Crandall, Speech Language Pathologist at East Broadway, 27 years. Victoria Hill Davis, Speech Language Pathologist at Bowser, 39 years, 6 months of service. Christine Edler, Grade 2 teacher at Riverside, 42 years. Bonnie Irvin, OT assistant at Robinson, 30 years. Adria L. Fajan Thomas, grade 5 at Glenwood, 41 years of service. Irma Gamboa Brown, CCSE at Waite, 30 years, 6 months of service. Jody R. Goldstein, CCSE Resource at Larchmont with 33 years. Kathy Grant, Custodian 3 at Scott, 32 years, 6 months of service. Claudia Lee Harding, Kindergarten teacher at Raymer, 33 years of service. Rhonda L. Hart, grade 2 at Birmingham, 26 years of service. Marissa Hutzman, option 5 at Bowser, 33 years. Tracy K. Johnson, OTES support at DeVilbiss, 34 years. Wendy Jones, CCSE Resources at Glendale Fieldbach, 33 years of service. Deborah Kleeman, Accounting Specialist, 29 years, 9 months of service. Patricia Kruger, Kindergarten teacher at Riverside, 32 years. Dawn Mashayek, Math teacher at Stark, 34 years. Cynthia A. Mayfield, Dean of Students at Bowser, 29 years. Gail McGrady, radio operator for transportation, 30 years of service. Michael S. McKee, phys ed teacher at Burndale, 38 years. Janelle Malkoff, math reading pullout, 34 years, 6 months of service. Alice Murray, in-school suspension at Woodward, 35 years. Susan M. Nadley, grade 3 at Walbridge, 35 years. Heidi Ovesek, grade 1 teacher at Walbridge, 33 years, 6 months of service. Trudy Petrozak, custodian, 30 years, 2 months of service. Ruth Purnell, food service worker 1 at Old Orchard, 27 years, 10 months of service. Cheryl A. Shanks, grade 7 at Navarre, 26 years, 6 months of service. Deborah J. Schmidt, grade 2 at Raymer, 30 years of service. Jennifer Schroeder, grade 6 at Beverly, 33 years of service. Robert L. Sawyer, math at Toledo Early College, 25 years. Jennifer Schuff, elementary art at Glenwood, 32 years. Paula Marie Simon, ECIS preschool at Crossgates, 36 years, 6 months of service. Leanne Smith, grade 2 at Beverly, 38 years. Kimberly Steinbach, grade 6 at Beverly, 33 years of service. Christina L. Sutter, grade 7 at Glendale Fieldbach, 30 years of service. Jacqueline M. Tapper, media specialist at Bowser, 28 years of service. Christine Thompson, miscellaneous laborer at Rogers, 33 years, 7 months of service. Lynn M. Wainscott, MD, paraprofessional at Whittier, 25 years, 5 months of service. Lisa Marie Waugh, CCSE resource at Harvard, 36 years. Robinetta West, marketing education at Start, 29 years, 6 months of service. Denise Wisniak Huddleston, Dean of Students at Woodward, 41 years, 6 months of service. Marianne Wozniak, media specialist at Wake, 27 years. Deborah T. Worsinger, food service worker at Burndale, 27 years, 3 months of service. Brenda R. Zanger, intervention specialist, auxiliary services, 26 years, 6 months of service, for a total of 1,353 years of service to Toledo Public Schools. If any of our retirees are here tonight, please come forward and shake hands with everyone at the bush. If not, congratulations.
Thank you, Ms. Newberg. Now, Ms. Barnes, may I turn with you? Thank you, Madam President. In honor of Women's History Month, we're going to try to do this as smoothly as possible. But you know, women, we get stuff done no matter what. So bear with us as we make sure we have the right name, the right flowers, and all that stuff. I want to start something different. Usually you start with the most seasoned folks, or elders, as you're saying, but I think it's rightfully so in this moment that we start with the youngest. So she knows that not only we're watching, but we are supporting and lifting up her to become the seasoned elder that we will honor in the future. For student leadership and community impact, we have Brooklyn Tyler. She didn't want to, she asked the first she asked was right to speak. I said, no, she said, okay. But I think I will open the board up to talk about Brooklyn, especially Dr. Moran. He was the one who introduced me at one of the community meetings, and just to see how amazing and bright this woman was. And it made me think to myself as a senior, I didn't do half of the stuff that she has accomplished and going on to do. If any kind of feel like I was definitely an underachiever in high school, but now I want to go back and do more. So I will open up the stage for comment.
So just in like Ms. Tucker was attending one of the community events, and I spoke about the opportunity within the district and the ability to get there no matter the very good time or where you live. And so as I sat down, Ms. Tucker tapped me on the shoulder and said, "I'm that child." And I said, "Well, explain to me." And she said, "Well, I attend Scott High School, but I got my CDL license from Rogers, and I'm looking to finish my welding license at Wake." So she attended the other board, and she wanted to get her CDL license, and she took advantage. So we lost kids from different locations. She got her CDL license, and at the same time, she wanted to get her welding license. She's doing that as well, 3 separate locations. Really taking advantage of all opportunities that business did. So congratulations, Ms. Tucker. We appreciate all you do and continue on with the strong efforts work.
I just want to congratulate you and thank you for coming to see us. I hope you enjoy your conference.
Our next honoree, is a beacon, a light in any room she walks in. I can't remember the first time I met her, but I knew from the moment I met her, she was something of magic. Because she has a way of making you feel seen, heard, but also relaxed. Even when she's being stern, she's trying to get you to go out. I'm not doing that. Miss Phoenix, wait a minute, I'm gonna talk about you here. Because not only she is a school counselor at 2 of our schools, she shows up to the community, does amazing work with different organizations, but she also is the current president for the Toledo Area Alliance, the Toledo Alliance of Black School Educators. And this serves Black school educators out for different Black and TTS. And she does it with so much grace. Is level because she doesn't get paid for that role, and she does it on the state level as well, and represents Toledo on a national level. And that is just amazing in itself, and she still finds a way to give you your smile at the end of the day, and I'm so impressed by this young woman. That once again, I'm thinking, I need to get my life together because the way these beautiful women shine, like, oh my goodness, it is a true honor that to know that you are helping our kids through some challenging times, and still want to go out in the community and help more. And so I appreciate you for the Women's History Month TPS version. It's School Excellence and Dedication Award. So our next honoree is amazing because I know how it is to have little ones. We try to keep them quiet in the morning. But just to see her, once again, another person like the room with a smile, very hilarious actually. But of course, this is because of her contribution to education, but to know she's a parent and as a special needs mom, I know the duties that come with that. And so to raise your kids and then still have food for that in itself is a work of the angel to me. And I thank you so much for, I guess I can say her school as well. I should say where she works at, she's a para as well, but also I hear she's an amazing singer. But just to know her is to, well, I haven't heard, y'all know, you know. But just to know the work that she does with the kids, when I see the young people that she works with, they just love her. And this is what, once again, the dedication is for. It's not only being seen, but being heard. And I know sometimes when we do the work of many, it feels lonely. And I thank you for just showing up every day and pouring into our little ones that is way, but also your little ones and little ones throughout the community. I have to open up the board.
Yes, I just want to say, this is a good example of what women do. She's here, she's taking care of children, she's doing everything that women do. You know, and I don't want to talk about what anymore about my wife takes away from the honoree. But I learned very quickly that my wife could do all of these things. She had one child on her hip, one of her other children dressing in a snowsuit, and still getting to work on time and doing all the things she needs to do. And I have to be very honest with you, and I tell her this all the time. I couldn't do that. Okay? But women do this. They just do it. And I want you to know it is obvious to me. I make that observation And I just applaud what women are able to do by multitasking, just doing the figure. So, you're doing it, and I just want you to appreciate it.
Ms. Caitlin, I know you're being honored for your contribution as a paraprofessional. As you know, these people are also in on your work as a mom. So I just want to say, I remember Lily was in the stroller, and I just don't know what happened. Like, you went from Lily to like Lily, I mean, I don't know how you keep it straight, but I know, just watching your, growth as a paraprofessional, that you found your home when you made your way, just way was smart, and you loved the work no matter where you were, but the difference was just astounding, like when you landed where you knew you belonged. So I think it's pretty cool that not only you belong there, but your kiddos do right alongside you for the school there. So that's something to just be TPS proud about. And the family is that TPS proud. So thank you.
I already shared my love with everyone already, but I just can say that you are an absolutely phenomenal person. And you have a voice of an angel. Thank you.
Okay, so everybody knows, or maybe you don't know, that this is my daughter. And I did not nominate her, although I wanted to, I was told I could not. So one of my colleagues says, thank you. This is what I was saying, Kate. I know your heart. I know how beautiful it is. I know how much love that you share with your kiddos at school, besides the grandchildren that I adore. But what you bring to the table at Escuela, you know what, that can't be managed. Those kids run to you. They know a safe person when they see one. They feel the love from you. So for that, I thank you and recognize you in Women's History Month as one of those women that lead and love. And Bob, we know you can't handle that.
This year honoree for student support and advocacy goes to Kate Hill. Our next award is for Administrative Leadership and Service Award. If you know this young lady, you know advocacy. She is power and truth in that word, and she lives in action. I am always in awe how far she will go for our students and our families to make sure they're seeing her welcome, valued, and that to me as an organizer is always my heart. And she does it so smooth, like you don't know she's telling you to do something until you've done it, and then she's smiling at you like, thank you. Now, but I will follow Miss Gabby anywhere, because she leads with her heart. She is a mighty warrior for our students, our district, and our community. And I am truly proud to award Administrative Leadership and Service Award to Gabriella Rodriguez.
Oh,
You're welcome. You're welcome.
The reason why I wanted to start with our youngest, like I said, I want her to see the women before her. And this last retiree is not only a special person to me as a mentor, but a true icon in the community for her work in healthcare. And I hope through this, she sees the inspiration of women that she has inspired, such as myself. For the award of the Women's History Month Toledo Public Schools edition for Community Impact and Leadership Award, we proudly present this to Ms. Donnie Miller. And I just found out by Googling Ms. Miller that you are a doctor and guess what? So you don't tell people that. I just want you to put more seasoning on the flowers, but the reason why one of the many reasons why she received this award, through Neighborhood Health Association, she has partnered with several of our schools to provide hygiene products for our students and their personal hygiene products. She also has serviced our families with ethical pain healthcare clinics and serves a lot of adults actually who are on the house. And she's always trying to do something more and bigger and better. She's challenging me always to say less, do more, because that's a trouble for me if y'all know me. But this is truly an honor to give you your flowers, Ms. Donnie Miller. So I have to make a correction. So the internet, be careful what you read, because she's not a doctor, but she's just an esquire. So that's different enough in itself. So Donnie Miller, Esquire. Now we will take pictures with our auntie. Oh, sorry. Yes, open up to the expo.
Madam President, I want to say, thank you. I've known Donnie a long time, and this is very special for me tonight and for you to be recognized. We have spent a lot of time talking and trying to deal with some of the issues of the community. And, sometimes we agree, sometimes we haven't. Okay? And our disagreements are not polarizing. They're about trying to understand the issues that were in front of us. And I think that we did that very well between the two of us, which is something people don't seem to be able to do these days. But, one of the special recollections that I have is that one summer night I was sitting on the back porch and phone rang and it was Donnie Miller. And Donnie was asking me some probing questions as to why we're making certain decisions that we're making here at the Board of Education. Not because you want to criticize, but you want to understand. And we went back and forth about those decisions. And after we talked about it, it was time for Donnie to offer some possible solutions after we talked through everything. I got off the phone, because it was my Sunday night, walked in the family room, and my wife, Kathy, said, who are you talking to you so long? And I said, Patty. And she said, oh, okay. And she said, time for service. And down here for the service person. And just like you, I always appreciate talking to you. I always appreciate your feedback. I always appreciate your input. You truly, really care about your community. And I just want you to know I appreciate that. I appreciate the friendship over the years and all the interactions that we've had.
And I also count you as a mentor, just for the record. And people also may know her as a TV personality. We all have clamored to get on her various shows over the years because she did a good job of really highlighting what was going on in the community and offering people an opportunity to be heard. It's always appreciated. When the first time I actually met you, though, maybe this is one of those little known facts that I learned, is when you ran to the city council. It was so long ago, right? Probably District 4, I'm not sure, but I remember it being when we first went to districts, and that's where we first met. So when you talk about coming full circle and really having done just about everything in the community, it's something you can chalk up to nominate. I would consider it an honor if you called me and wanted to ask me any early questions about what's going on in the district, even now, as we are again facing some challenges and some crises. So ask me anything, Donnie, I'm up for it. Congratulations, well deserved.
Okay, this time if we'd like to step up to take pictures, that would be lovely. Thank you.
Are we bringing? I'm just gonna set up. Oh, can you take pictures? Sorry.
There you go. Step back. Everybody's got to step back. Step back. Then you got to shift. Over shoulders. Come on this way, like you can't get. Lose this after that. Okay, everyone. Yeah, I'll help you get the order here. Okay, thank you.
Special, you just pulled it all.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Cheese. Okay, why is it cheese? Everyone.
That'll work.
We don't have to stay the whole time. But I would like to take a picture. It's just like I can share with you tomorrow in your video.
Bye, girl. Congratulations. Yes. You too, honey. You too. Congratulations. It's birthday.
Bye, everyone.
No, bye.
Okay. We're gonna move on to section 3, which are committee comments, and we do not have any this evening. Then we'll move on to section 4, which is organizational input. And tonight we have our student representative, Evelyn Butler, the Scott High School.
I'm not wrong about that, we just heard. Being at Scott has taught me a lot of things, many so being how to use my voice and where to find my voice and who to talk to with my voice. I have a very good mentor, her name is Ms. Brown, and she has continuously poured into me and what I want out of high school and what I want after high school, actually. During my time at Scott, I had gathered a lot of achievements. One of them being I am class president of 2026. And the reason I wanted to become class president was because of my classmates and because I knew that I was a good mediator between students and faculty. At Scott, I have developed relationships after relationships, and for that I'm forever grateful because Scott is a very big, and they have many people with many connections, and I'm happy that I was happy or that I was able to use that. I also became captain of basketball and volleyball team, and with that, I was able to not only use my voice to be the mediator that I wanted to be, but I also got to use my voice to feed it to other kids, and that was amazing, and that was a different part of what I never expected coming into Scott. I have moved here being not timid, not shy, more so being an observer. Because of the fact that I just moved here and I didn't know none of them, they didn't know none of me. And from being a freshman and to now becoming a senior president, from them not knowing me to now everybody knowing me and everybody being able to be comfortable and tell me their problems and what they want out of school. That's a big blessing. For that, I'm forever grateful for TPS and for Scott High School. So thank you all.
Okay, I don't know how we top that, right? That's good. Way good. We do. Evelyn, thank you for being here, my goodness. Next up, we have our parent representative, Ms. Joanna White. She's the president of the Parent Teacher Organization at Jones Leadership Academy Business and District Parent Leadership.
Good evening, everyone. As she said, my name is Joanna White, and I am the president of the PTO at Jones Leadership Academy. And I've been there, this is my 9th year, and it will be my last. I'm happy to be at the portion this evening, and we had a meeting before, with Mrs. Britton and the parent leader board had a meeting before we had our meeting here, and we discussed the community meetings that we went to at Retiree. I went to the staff meeting, and I can say that I actually am glad I went. I was hesitant because I wasn't sure if it would be worth it, if I found out any new information. I absolutely found out new information. It was very informative, the way that you had the pie charts on there and the bullets and everything. You had the outlines, the visuals. They were very easy to follow. I appreciate that. I appreciate the fact that I was able to hear straight from the horse's mouth and not all the different rumors about where the money is coming from and why the money isn't there. I also appreciate the fact that I thought you were well prepared and having already had previous meetings, at the staff meeting, you were able to get the most important questions or the most common questions that had been asked of previous meetings. You already had answers for us. So I appreciate that. I also appreciate the fact that we had the opportunity to go into a breakout session. And I also love the fact that I was able to sit at a table with 3 other complete strangers from different backgrounds. One of them didn't even have the children. The other one was a Buffalo soldier. One was the first graduating class from Toledo early college with a student at Scott's, and myself. And so it was all different perspectives and ideas, and that we were able to share. And I just appreciate that. I think you did a good job explaining it as a parent with the students at Evelyn Stewart Academy for Girls, and that's one of the schools that's rumored to have some changes, maybe, maybe not. I have been anxious about it. I need to know what to do with my children, and I just appreciate that you made me feel like you cared about my opinion when I went to that community meeting, and I just want to say thank you for that. And I also I didn't get the opportunity to speak for Mrs. Miller. I thought she might stay a little longer. But she has given Jones Leadership Academy of Business, our free hygiene pantry, 2,000 sanitary napkins, 10 months out of the year for the last 4 years in a row. She is the reason why I have been able to keep my hygiene pantry open. The Neighborhood Health Association also sponsors our hygiene drive that we have during the summer. And they also, at that time, they buy everything. They buy deodorant, lotion, toothpaste. It's more than just sanitary napkins. Mrs. Miller, she absolutely deserves the flowers that she received today. So thank you for choosing her. And I do have some good news I'd like to share. I will now be a student mentor at Pickett Elementary for the 5th grade class through the partaking zone. So I've already done my interview, I've already done my police check, and so tomorrow I actually get to meet our students. So I'll be mentoring 2 students at Elementary Store twice a month on Wednesday. No, not sorry, not Elementary Store. Thank you.
Fabulous. Thank you so much for being here. Next, we have Tab, Mr. Emilio Maris.
Thank you. First, I want to thank you for reminding me of Women's History Month. That's why I come to the meetings. I do want to make sure I recognize my wife. And I don't know as far as Bob and what our duties are. But I do want to congratulate all of you that were presented here today as well as all of them. It was great to be here and be recognized. We all have a mother, so we got to make sure that we recognize the women in our lives. The other piece I wanted to talk about is the retirees that we've had right now. There was nearly 50 of us counting them this for in today's board meeting. But I know we have about 90, nearly 100 staff that are retiring this year. I think it was 1,000 years just for this year, over 1,000 years for this month. So we are going to be losing a lot of experience, a lot of history. Make sure that we recognize those people on the surprise on the show. But I mean, when you read all those years, 41 years, 35 years, so I want to congratulate those in retirement. And lastly, I want to circle back to Barbara's moment of silence about leadership and advocacy. I know that the board's members do that strongly. I want to let you know I'm still here advocating for our administrators up there in this tough time.
Thank you, Mr. Ramirez. Is there anyone from TFP or Mr. Dalton's here? Or ASME, Mr. Parker? Mr. Parker here from ASME. All right, we're going to move on to section 5 then. Comments by the board. Mr. Vasquez.
Thank you, Madam President. I just want to say to our students representative, do you have a family or friend here? Would you like to introduce them?
Okay, so we got my mom from the book, that's Miss Butler, that's Miss Myra Butler, and then the one next there, that's her husband, that is Mr. Eric Butler. That is my father.
Okay, part of my comment, I wanted you to do that because I just, congratulations to everything and everybody that's been here, and but you particularly kind of hit the spot for me, and that is that the way you handle yourself is the reason that we all do it. And you show that all the time that we put into this is worth it. So, but the other thing is that I always make comments that the school can't be everything to our children, that they need the parents. And so that's why I wanted to introduce you. And I want to thank you for helping us in what we're doing and hoping we're helping you in her development and going on to the future, because it really does take all of us to do that. So congratulations on not just being here tonight, but who you are and who you're going to be. And congratulations to you too. Thank you.
Thank you. I can't help but want to start with Ms. Avalon as well. My comments. I just want to say, where have you been all my life? We've been young, you're senior, and we're getting to know you now. This great transition. You didn't speak up like what's next for you, but I hope that you keep in touch and keep us informed. I mean, in general, the presentations tonight, the awards. Sometimes I might be in the mood for a board meeting to just get to business, right? But if I think about it, it's these presentations and these things we do before we get to the business that do really truly remind us why we're doing this. And it's especially useful to get us grounded in a time like this when our business is a little bit rougher than usual. So, you've helped make me ready to do the business because we're reminded why we are keepers. That long list of retirees has always been shocking in March, but keeping in mind that that's it's not a mass exodus. It's the time of year when people need to notify us of their retirements by contract in order to get some other considerations and for us to have staff planning. So it always seems like a lot in March, but I know that it really did add up quick, and I also getting old enough that the names that are appearing are people I worked with before I retired. And I started to look around and say there's no one left that I know. After doing 30 years myself, retired in 2009. So it just kind of hits home that that's the season I'm in. And even the young teachers who were young teachers when I was, approaching retirement are now approaching retirement age and stuff. So that's a dawning awareness that is interesting. I want to say something about the work that is before the board, in the coming months, and I'm sure our president will remind us again that we have a big transformation plan that is due to the board by April 15th, so there's a lot of work to do. I'm on the HR and curriculum committee, now known as program redesign committee, so we're seeing a lot of the work marching towards us, and people are going to hear about it soon. I do want to mention that I'm deliberately taking up the notion in HR committee is going to be another difficult thing. I've talked about the idea of really having a trauma-informed plans as we move people around and lay people off if necessary, but it's going to be a whole nother level when we start talking about prison schools, because we're talking about communities that are going to kind of upend it and ask to, find themselves a new community. So I just want people to know that I'm trying to be deliberate about that, particularly the additional anxiety of the summer uncertainty because of the late nature of being able to do the staffing and, understanding what our community is heading for. So it's going to get rough, and I just want people to know that that board members are really trying to make it as the least amount of trauma we possibly can to get to the other side of this. So that's what I'll be working on in HR committee, is kind of addressing the uncertainties and how can we make sure people are kept up to date as much as possible until people do know what's happening for sure. So they get that. Thank you.
Ms. Barnes. Thank you, Madam President. First, I would like to thank the staff that was there and assisting through the community meetings. A lot of thought planning went into that. Even after the long work day, they still showed up. And sometimes we didn't get out of the meetings until 8 o'clock. So I first want to say thank you to the team that worked hard to make sure not only that answers were gathered so we can have the correct response, and not just performative response. The response of this is what we're thinking, this is what we have to do, and this is what the state wants us to do. I do appreciate that. It helped, I think, for myself as a board member to feel like we were actually listening and being very responsive to what the community needed at the time. It was information, and what we had, we gave. And so I do want to say thank you to the staff, because I know it wasn't easy. I know it hasn't been easy. A little bit to Ms. White says, when you hear rumors, and this is our community, so passion is going to be there. And sometimes when you are hurt or angry, you don't really know who to attack. So I just want to say thank you to our staff for coming to every meeting, working every meeting after a long day, and coming back the next day, because once again, they don't do it for the money, they do it for the love of the district. So I do appreciate everyone who worked to plan, to conduct, and to implement those meetings. Getting back to Women's History Month, I would be very disappointed if I left without saying why Women's History Month is so important to me as a school board member. And I have to say it's my first love, my mother. My mother was an educator, started as a PTO president, and then she ended up going into Head Start until she retired. And she showed the love of reading and learning, but also how I moved as a board was because I saw her as a teacher, from getting snacks in her classroom, to clothing, to making sure every kid can go on a field trip, you name it, going above and beyond her classroom to make sure it felt like home there. And that's what I hope to do for this district, for every student. So I would like to say thank you to Rita Barnes for introducing me to the love of education, and happy Women's History Month. Another woman I like to shout out is my science teacher from high school, Ms. Deb Bassett. She's probably going to
kill me. But she did something, and I'm gonna be honest, she is a beautiful, she's a white woman, and I live in Flint, Michigan. And I live in an area where people were scared to come to. The police were scared to come to. And every day, her and other amazing teachers who were not black came to our school and fought with us, by us, and for us to make sure we had high quality public education. And I didn't understand the importance of that until I became a board member and seen how I have to move against the stigmas that we have against our district. She didn't treat us no different. She didn't judge us for anything. Even when I was a teenage parent, she still made sure I had my homework somehow. And it was teachers like her that I think kept me going till I graduated. So I want to take the time and thank Ms. Dan Bassett. We still Facebook friends to this day because those two women gave me, I think, the motivation and inspiration to be the board member I am for public education school district, for students who are counted out because of their zip code, counted out because of their race, counted out because English may not be their first language, counted out for just being not what society wants them to be or thinks to be for higher education. So I want to thank them both. Ms. White, I cannot thank you enough as a parent. Knowing you, knowing how you move, not just for Jones, and oh, by the way, I'm a parent, I'm proud TBS parent of Jones Christian Academy Business, but how you move for all the babies. All the babies are your babies. And I have to tell this funny story real quick. I'm taking up time, I'm taking up space. Remember that word of love or take up space. My son came home with a personal hygiene bag. And I said, oh, what are you doing? You don't need that bag. He said, his wife said I have a bag, so everybody else can have a bag, and that way nobody can get judged. And I was like, I get it, okay. And telling him that made sure that he can tell his friends, like, don't be judging people, because you don't know who really needs it or not. And he said that to a couple of friends, and I think for sharing that, it wasn't about if they need it or not. Everybody gets it, because some of our kids won't say what we need to say. And I appreciate you for that. And yes, we did donate because we had tons of soap. but thank you though. Thank you for removing that stigma of not having. And board member Butler, I mean, did you do that or what? But I want to highlight something. We had two phenomenal women from Scott representing tonight. That makes me so proud. And they did it. This was good. Okay, Bulldog. Here we go. But once again, thank you. And I would say thank you to the parents. Because you raised a phenomenal young black woman in today's world. And I know that's not easy. And to see her shine, I'm just like, where you working as a CEO or are you running her mom? Just let me know. Please don't lose that. And I just want to say thank you for gracing us tonight with your brilliance, your confidence, and your shine. I appreciate it. Thank you. Mr. Carter.
Thank you, Vice President. I don't have a lot to say. But I want to say I'm kind of biased as it relates to Ms. Butler, because her parents are friends of mine. What you see is what you see. The consistency of who she is because of her wonderful parents who they have instilled inside of her. I am so excited that you're seeing this year, so excited that I made sure I was going to be a board member at Scott so that I could shake your hand toward your transition to greatness. You were absolutely phenomenal tonight. You stood with confidence in everything that you said. You owned the room. So thank you for who you are and continue success as you prepare for the greater that's in you. That's why I want to say thank you because Ms. Mark and myself are part of the Vision Committee. It's one thing to see surveys, it's another thing to hear words. And so hearing you tonight express your experience at our community meetings. Really meant a lot to me because I think many times we look at those who will not, that we miss out on those who made the opportunity and sacrifices to do. And so we started this at one school, and we kind of got maybe corrected about it. And we were a well-oiled machine, making sure with this phenomenal staff that we gave our community what they asked for. And even today, it's making sure that our community knows and understands this was not just, as Ms. Barnes said, informative, just to do it, but to really hear our community and wondering how we can, with our stakeholders, make sure that our district continues to excel, even in this challenge that we're going through. So thank you again for being that voice, being able to share, and even throughout this community meetings. There was a lot of passion, but there was also a lot of people who came with an understanding and left an understanding of where we are in a society of people having on opinions, like facts, and absent truth. I think it's very important that we stay true to who we were as a district to the best of our ability. So she wasn't, but I was kind of sad that it was over because I just connected with the community and really getting a feel for different areas and let them know that our district, even in the midst of this, still believe that we will come out to be what we need to be for. Thank you.
Madam President. Yes, I'm sorry, but circle back. I did have a note to say something about the community meetings, and I wanted really to thank board members Barnes and Parker for their leadership on that bridge committee. This was really a heavy lift. We're all particularly hard on our committees, but there's not another committee where they expected us out 6 weeks in a row, 1 week twice, I think, and to host these meetings. And so I was able to attend 3 of them because I just can't stay away when it comes to, really seeing how the community is interacting. So thank you. That was a heavy lift, and we look forward to using the results, seeing how it's leading us. I wanted to specifically thank Mr. Ramirez and his members who were the table hosts. They were the facilitators. When you talk about staff coming out to help week after week, those were staff members. Those were staff members who are in this. They know that the outcomes aren't necessarily great for some of them, and they were there for every meeting, and they did a really good job. My favorite part was walking around and kind of spying on the tables and trying to, listen in and hear how where the conversations were going, and the facilitation matters in these rooms. You got 6 to 12 tables all popped in at once in the room, and it seems a little overwhelming, but when you zero in on each table, they were zeroed in, and those facilitators really made a difference to help the parents who were at the tables, or the community members at the tables, see the questions and hear the responses. So I really did want to mention being pretty pleased with how those were, how this went. And I know we got a lot of data through that. Thanks.
Sure. So I first want to thank Glenwood Elementary students for reciting the national anthem, the mission and vision statement for TDS. That's probably one of my favorite parts of our meetings. We have big people here all the time, and that's our little bit of joy that's coming even across the video, but they're interacting in part of the board meeting, right? So we have really heavy decisions coming up, and it reminds me every time I'm at a board meeting when I see those faces of why I'm doing what I'm doing and the decisions that we make, who they're impacting truly. So I thank Glenwood for being present tonight. The retirements, I always say this, we couldn't do what we do without the staff. I applaud those that are retiring. I mean, 1,300 hours or 1,300 years is no joke. And 90 retirees, and I know that we usually have an abundance in March, but this seems a little higher than normal. And so, you know, Godspeed with them. I applaud them, I appreciate them, and we certainly congratulate them on their retirement. Many of them I know, and that's a lot of knowledge that is walking out the door. It's a lot of knowledge. Women's History Month, obviously the honorees, we're on now, but we certainly, I thank you yet again, Ms. Barnes, for bringing this to light every year and making this something that we dedicate the month of March for. It is imperative that we recognize the contributions of women in our community. And, you know, as I just did earlier in my day job, we did this as well. And there were actually 2 teachers that were recognized by the county commissioners today for their contributions to our community. So it just spoke volumes about TPS, right? Still in the House, whether it's here or at the county commissioner seats. Okay, Ms. Evelyn, wow, right? I am so excited for your future. And Mrs. Butler, my goodness, you have raised a rock star, right? You already know it. I love when you said you're finding your voice, right? That's so good, so powerful. I mean, here you are in high school and you're getting, like, I didn't even know what my voice was in high school. I had no idea what I was doing. I will say, while I did have a female teacher that pushed me, I had a male teacher that pushed me, and he, it didn't matter that I was a girl, right? It didn't matter that I was just a little girl plowing through high school. Mr. Jordan was my favorite teacher, and he pushed me because he saw something in me that I didn't. And so I feel like what you talked about tonight is just so powerful. Is that kind of capturing that you found your voice and you're going to use it and make this world better. So thank you for being part of PPS. You certainly make this mom's heart this proud. And then, of course, listen, I can't say enough about Mrs. Wade. She, again, parent rock star. I am all about parent engagement, involvement. That's kind of my stream, right, or where I came from. And so I applaud all the things that you do for this district. Thank you for bringing up your insight into the forums. You hear from staff, you hear from different lenses throughout the community. It was really, I'm thankful that you shared that with us tonight. We were hopeful that the forums would be meaningful. Listen, education is emotional, right? Whether it's parent, whether it's staff member, it impacts everyone's lives. And so we're in a position, unfortunately, nobody wants to be in. There's not one person up here that's loosely thinking about all the things that we have, the decisions we have to make, and knowing the impact on our friends and our families and our community as a whole. So thank you for sharing what you did. And I certainly applaud my colleagues, my female colleagues, especially during Women's History Month. Thank you for being the fierce women that you are. Give a little round. Yeah. That's right. But I also want to say thank you to my colleagues because I know the tremendous pressure that we are all under right now. I applaud Dr. Grant and Mr. Schulte and your staff for the efforts that they're putting in. Listen, there's hundreds of meetings, it seems like, that are happening. And my favorite phrase that Mr. Gant always uses is, here to serve, here to serve. And I appreciate that. I do understand the time commitment that goes into getting to a decision, right? So this is not easy in any way, shape, or form. With that, I'm going to move on to, we're going to fly through this though. Section 6 is the consent agenda. Agenda item 6.01 through 6.39 are consent agenda items. Board members may request to pull an item from the consent and move to the discussion section of the agenda. Item 6.01 to 6.04 is Human Resource Committee. The chair is Colin Goodwin, the co-chair, Random Parker III. Item 6.05 to 6.14 is Budget and Finance Stabilization and Operations Committee. Chair Bob Vasquez, co-chair Chris Harway. Item 6.15 to 6.16 is Academic and Program Redesign Committee. Chair Colin Goodwin, co-chair Chris Harway. Item 6.17 to 6.34 is Legislative and Policy Committee. Chair Chris Harway, co-chair Sheena Barnes. Item 6.35 to 6.36. Building relationships in district growth and engagement committee. So who's stuff about bridge? Chair is Randall Parker III, co-chair Sheena Barnes. Item 6.37, Transformation Plan Oversight Committee. There's no action items this month, but lengthy conversations. Chair Bob Vasquez, co-chair Chris Barway. And let's see, item 6.38 to 6.39, approval of board meeting minutes. So I'd like to request a motion to approve the consent agenda item, please. So second. It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, Treasurer, please call the roll.
Mrs. Gerken,
Yes.
Mr. Vasquez,
Yes.
Mr. Parker,
Yes.
Mr. Barwick,
Yes.
Ms. Barnes.
Yes. Okay, section 7 of the agenda consists of reports and minutes from this month's committee meetings and are here for information and reference. No action is required. So we're going to proceed to section 8 of the agenda. And it looks like under discussion items, there are none for this month. Is that right? Okay. Section 9, are there any walk-ins this evening? Okay, we're going to move to section 10, early childhood education items. Chair is Sheena Barnes, co-chair Randall Parker III. So I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Barnes. You got a mic?
Yeah, I'll speak loud. We do have.
No, you want to be accessible for all abilities.
Sorry for that. Yes, we do have an agenda item for your consideration this evening and ask for your approval.
Okay. 10.01 early childhood program selection criteria. I'd like to request a motion to approve the early childhood program selection criteria.
So moved. Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, Treasurer, please call the roll.
Mrs. Gerken,
Yes.
Mr. Vasquez,
Yes.
Mr. Parker,
Yes.
Mrs. Barwick,
Yes.
Ms. Barnes.
Yes.
Okay, great. Section 11 of the agenda consists of early childhood education reports and minutes from this month's committee meetings and are provided for your information and reference. There's no action required. We can proceed to section 12. Are there any early childhood education walk-ins? No. Okay, thank you. We're going to move to 13 on superintendent comments.
Again, congratulations to Ms. Avalon over there and Mom and Dad. Appreciate you for all you do. Again, stand with confidence, conviction. She spoke out today, so once a bulldog, always a bulldog, right? Mama East Side. So, but again, congratulations to her, congratulations to Brooklyn, a role model student, taking advantage of all opportunities, no matter the location, but knowing what the opportunities are that exist within these districts. And so her taking full advantage of it speaks volume to her success. Today, the University of Toledo Executive Cabinet did a tour of the program from the comprehensive as well as the academy, and were greatly impressed and are looking to align much more closely, understanding the value of how our education is going for our students. So again, another moment she's been proud. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Foley.
Just one thing, we are keeping up on all the property tax reform bills that be proposed out the state level. Everything will recess here for Easter, so we'll get back on this, but there's some of them that would be very detrimental to not just TPS, but all the tuition.
Madam President, may I make a request that you did a great job, Ryan, of breaking down bonds with mortgage. If we can show when we lose property taxes, how it will affect education, and I know it's going to affect, EMS and fire, but I know we're talking about it, but I put it into like, okay, this is what we're losing, if we can. So I don't think people, you hear, I want to save money on my property taxes, but you don't hear that they're, what you're losing by not paying property taxes. Those potholes will not get filled. You won't have the school, therefore you won't have more jobs, so therefore your community will start. I want to start having talking points because we have complaints about ending property taxes without the facts, like board member Parker said, without the facts of if that happens, you will end your community slowly but surely. So we can figure out some talking points or a slide or something.
No, that's, I love that you asked the question, and I know that I have already had conversations with Mr. Schulte about, do you have the number off the top of your head? Do you remember what that was? That we would lose if property taxes go away? 110 now. In addition to what we're doing. I will tell you that that is going to devastate all districts in the state of Ohio. So it won't just be us. And I don't believe the legislature has an answer for that.
Madam President, if you don't mind, this is once again what you call defunding public education is happening in our faces.
I do have, okay, at this time we have board member comments. So, Mr. Vasquez.
No.
Thank you. I just want to say I'm counting now. It's graduation time in my head already, so I'm excited. So, yeah. So, you should be excited.
Just a quick women's history moment. We talked about time ago and show his personality. He was on greatness that I've met in Scottsdale for the first time. We're on the show together as a candidate for the good public school. So thank you guys for a big thing.
Small world. So board members, in order to maintain the timeline that we have going right now, Vice President Parker and myself met with administration, and we requested that administration work toward completing negotiations by April 7th, based on the timeline that we have. Since I requested that we have the transformation plan ready to go at 15. Well, it may be done earlier or not, I don't know, but I'd like to at least have some true dates in mind. So I'm requesting, or so we were requesting, a special board meeting. Right now, if you can look at your calendars and see if April 9th is available. And the purpose of the meeting would be to review any tentative agreements, discuss any related personnel matters, and take any action that may be necessary. I'm open on the 9th, so I don't know work schedule.
I'm available.
Right?
I can make myself available.
We have committee meetings that day, HR and curriculum, so if it could be.
And you're earlier in the day?
I have to do it
Oh, you don't need it. Okay.
well, HR could be done, right? We did between HR, curriculum, I think that is what we're saying. HR's in here, but we could put it up a little and then maybe.
Okay.
So we could do 1:30.
Okay, hold on.
We could just spread those other two meetings out to have more meeting in the middle of.
Yeah, how about, can we do 1 o'clock? Is that fair? 1 o'clock? Okay.
So just for the HR curriculum meetings, let's talk this Thursday about adjusting numbers, just like move one up, one down, and then we'll be able to squeeze that right.
Yeah. Okay, well, thank you for that. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was good.
Yes.
Okay, so 1 o'clock on April 9th, right now, to that special board meeting. Okay. Okay, all right, that is great. That is all I have. Anyone else? Let's entertain a motion to adjourn then. Second, moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Mrs. Gerber.
Yes.
Mr. Vasquez.
Yeah.
Parker.
Yeah.
Mrs. Harwood.
Yes.
Ms. Barnes.
Yes.